Let's continue adding some detail into our wall section. And we're down at the bottom of the foundation and the floor joist. And we need to kind of get rid of or obliterate the wall coming down through this area because the wall's going to end up here. So we're going to do a filled region. And we really need to make a white filled region. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. So I've gone to, whatever I started, I just went to edit type, and I'm going to go to white fill. And we're going to pick no pattern, none. I don't know if they have a solid fill white. No. And we're going to pick a white color. Oops, I'll just do this one. All right, and we have a line weight of 1. That's probably fine. So let's just click off of that and actually draw something right now. So I'm just going to draw a filled region. And we get the lines on the edges of it. And so we're going to make, so now we're going to just pull this over until it touches the face of the rim joist. And we're going to pull it back until it leaves the view shed or the viewport crop region. That'll leave this kind of continuation, an idea of a continuation of that stud unit. And I notice here now that a 2x10 is actually 9 1/4, it looks like. So we're a 1/4 inch oversized. So I think we should make an adjustment to our floor thickness. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that, and we can put our plywood material on it while we're at it. So let's go ahead and edit that. And now let's make this a 1/2 inch. So our subfloor is a 1/2 inch thick, and we'll make our stud, or our joist a 1/4 inch. And let's give these plywood sheathing values. Could have the finished floor on it, but this is good enough for this part of the project. And then we need that wood stud material color that we used. All right, so I think we're all set now. Apply that. Okay, and now we can go ahead then and just shrink this down now so it's hitting at the very base of the subfloor. So now we get a better indication of really the way this assembly is built up. This subfloor though actually extends out over the floor deck. So we actually need to we can make just a duplicate of this one. I'll just move it up until it's there, and we'll pull it down. And we'll pull it all the way over till it touches the exterior sheathing. And that's kind of how the subfloor would move through that area. And we've lost, I guess I might not have duplicated it because I lost the other one. So let me just move this back again. There we go. So we have a couple of other elements here. We need the bottom stud plate. So I'm going to copy this up and place it there. There we go. And that was probably not the best way to deal with level 1 because we have this kind of idea of finished floor, and level 1 could have been actually just the subfloor, but that's a little more detail than we need to concern ourselves with in this class. I want to pull this up so the insulation looks like it goes to the beneath the window area. And we need to build some more elements up here. We need another, I'm going to just bring this stud element up. If I can select it here, let me just tab. And I'm going to copy this up because we're going to be needing that in a minute as we move up the wall section. So we need to add some more insulation again. So under annotate, grab our insulation. It's still got our thickness properly, and I'll just click anywhere that I can find the center, and I'll pull this up. And I'll pull it down And we need to come in here and grab these. I'm going to hold down the control key so I can multiple select. I want to grab all of this, the framing lumber, and bring that to the front so it's over the top of the insulation. That makes it read better. I'm going to go ahead and move this to the bottom of that window. That's just set off a little bit, indicating there's a little bit of a gap. Typically we oversize the rough opening by a 1/2 inch. And we have now a floor deck that we also have a window. Actually, this window is sitting in the wrong location. Let's try to fix that. It's sitting at 8 feet. We really need it a little bit higher off the floor, so let's just at least move it up. Let's go to 9 feet. Maybe we'll go to 10. And I'll go ahead and make this, correct these locations. So let's move this up. And extend the insulation. And now we need to have some kind of a detail for this floor element and put the framing that would normally support all of that. So let's go ahead and work on this second floor. So we're going to make a floor assembly again. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate this generic one, and we'll call this second floor. And in this case, we'll do it somewhat similar. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of, oops, I want to move that up into the core boundary. I know we want drywall, the stud, and then the finished floor, and I'll move this one up above that. So let's call this the drywall. Let's give it that finish right away, gypsum wall board. Gypsum wall board. Our floor is plywood sheathing. And this can be our wood stud material. And we'll look at our preview. Oops. Oh, it just undid all of those. So I've got to, sorry for that delay. I've got to add those back in again. So let's go ahead and give this the gypsum wallboard material. And this we want to give the plywood sheathing. And we'll go ahead and we'll move that up. So the plywood sheathing will work as the floor underlayment. We're going to make that 3/4 of an inch. We're going to make the floor, oops, let's get rid of one of the inches. We're going to make the floor 10.25, oops, excuse me, 9.25. And the wall board 1/2 inch. Oops. And we've got to move that up into the core boundary. And we need to give this material, which will be that wood. Give it the wood stud material. All right, we can preview it, and hopefully, so we have our subfloor, the framing, and then the gypsum board. So we're okay with that. And there we have now our floor assembly. And now we need to move it into the space just the same way we would do the other one. So we're going to look at this as not what's called a balloon construction, but a conventionally or a more modern frame building where we build one wall and then we build the next wall on top of that. So we need to add a couple of elements up, like the rim joist. So I'm going to just copy this up so we have it close by. We'll get that aligned in a minute. All right, so we'll go to annotate and we'll do another filled region. And I'll go from, oops, I need my rectangle tool. So we'll go from here to there. And we'll pull this out till it touches the rim joist and pull it back so it's out of the crop area. And then we're going to just duplicate that up again so it can be our I'm sorry, I just got a little bit confused because I don't have my rim joist in place correctly yet. And we'll pull this out till it touches the face of the sheathing. And then we need to just move this up until it is in the right location. Yeah, that's starting to look correct. Now our gypsum board, our drywall only comes up to the edge of the other wall surface. What we're missing is I'll copy this down, the start of our top plate. And in this case, I'm going to move this one right to the bottom of the framing. And then we usually have what's called, it's a double top plate. So there's usually two pieces of 2x material at the top of a framed wall. And then once again, we have the start of the stud wall on the second floor. So we're going to just move that up till it touches there. And that's our second floor level. And now we just need to work our way up to the roof. So I'm going to grab another top plate element and we'll copy that up. I'm going to go all the way to the very top here. I didn't quite catch that, but we're going to come back to that because I still want to grab, I need to grab something to make a header over the window. And we'll move this up, and then we're going to move it up a 1/2 inch away. I'll just type that in. Oops, I probably typed in a 1/2 foot. Let's see if I can undo that and move it again. Let's see if I zoom in and we'll get a little more accuracy there. Okay, so that's good. Now we need to copy one to the other side. Now this is the very top of the wall. So what we are going to have is a double top plate again. Oops, I'm going to grab this and move this up to the top and then duplicate it down so we have 2 of them. We have a little bit of a screwy condition with the way our ceiling might be defined, so I might change the way we actually indicate that. And it's getting a little bit maybe too much into the detail of the framing elements. This I've totally screwed up its location here. Let's get that corrected. And let's put our insulation in. And we want to send that to the back. It's offset a little bit. I don't know why that is. Let's see what we say, 3. No. I'm going to delete that and draw it again. I must have missed the center line of the wall. There we go. And I'll pull that up. And then I'll modify it and pull it down. And we want to grab it and send it to the back. We have a few other elements to clean up, and I'm wondering if we should take our ceiling type and give it some structure to it. So let's go ahead and edit that type, and we'll duplicate it, and we'll go with second floor ceiling. And it doesn't give us any, so the ceiling panel is just a surface in and of itself. And I'm not going to concern myself too much with detailing this. But suffice it to say that it's sitting down too far. We really want that ceiling to be up at the top of plate level. So let's go ahead and not give that any offset at all. So we're going to give it a 0. And I probably needed to evaluate that. I'll give some thought to that ceiling level, because we really need to draw in a little bit of extra detail here that's going on. But for a first pass, this is a good start. I'm going to give a little consideration to what other kind of details we might add into this in the next clip. And then we'll start to bring this part of the project to a close.